about family history nobody told me about. I would talk about some family situation, and my relatives would say I couldn't know that because I wasn't around then. And I would argue with them. Yes, I remember being there, I would say. I saw auras around my elementary school teachers. I would sit in class and see colors happening around them. I once told a teacher, "You're blue." She looked at me and said, "Excuse me?" I said, "You've got blue all around you." She asked, "What do you mean?" I said, "Especially on this side, you've got blue all around you." One day, I was in May's department store with my mother and said to her, out of nowhere, "We've got to go home now." My mother said she wasn't finished shopping. "We've got to go home right now," I insisted. "Phyllis is going to call. She's waiting on a corner. We gotta go." My mother gave me one of those exasperated mom looks. Phyllis, my older cousin, lived in Florida. "What is it? You have to go to the bathroom?" my mother asked. You see, I had a big problem with public restrooms. "No," I said. "Phyllis is waiting for us. She's calling." In my head, I saw Phyllis calling us from a phone booth on a corner near our house. My mother rolled her eyes and took me home to go to the bathroom. We got inside, and within 5 minutes, the phone rang. It was Phyllis, calling from a block away. She was up from Florida, a surprise visit. But we had moved, and she didn't have our new address. Could we come pick her up? I thought this was a normal thing. Whatever my mother's private reaction, she didn't make a big deal out of it. You'd think that with all these strange experiences, I'd have become more interested in my mother's hobby. She was a psychic junkie. I thought she was just loony. My mother was constantly getting readings from psychics, reporting back to Uncle Joey and Grandma when she had a good one. I didn't believe any of it. "Ma, what are you doing?" I'd say repeatedly by the time I reached my early teens. "Are you nuts? You're paying good money to these people to tell you a story." And she'd say to me, "Mind your own business. I like it. It's like going to a cheap psychiatrist." Well, everything began to change around my 15th birthday, triggered by a scary incident. At my school physical that year, the doctor found my thyroid levels off and sent me to an endocrinologist for further tests. My cousin Roseanne took me to the appointment. The specialist feared I might have a tumor, and Roseanne called my mother at work with the news. Seeing how shaken she was, a colleague said to my mother, "I don't know if you believe in psychics, but there's one who works upstairs. She doesn't like people to know about it, but I can see if she'll see you." Lydia Clark said yes, and my mother went. I told you she was a psychic junkie. It turned out I didn't have a tumor, but considering what it led to, in hindsight, I've come to think that there was a reason for this medical scare. My mother was so impressed with Lydia that she arranged for her to come out to the house and read for the family. My mother set Lydia up in my bedroom, of all places. There were 18 or 20 relatives and friends in the house, all waiting their turn to meet the psychic. One by one they went in, emerging sometime later with these glazed-over looks on their faces. Despite my mother's warnings to be on my best behavior, I smirked. I thought my entire family was nuts. My cousin Roseanne, known as Little Ro, came out of her reading and told me, "John, she's good." Roseanne was 30 but looked 15. Everyone who met her thought she was a teenager, and every psychic she went to talked about what boy she was going to meet and what college she was going to go to. Meanwhile, she was married and had a child. But this psychic was different. "She even knew I lost a baby," Roseanne reported. She wanted me to go in and have a reading. I was old enough now. I resisted. I really had no interest. But Roseanne kept it up, and I finally relented, just to humor her, especially since she was paying. And I would prove Lydia wrong. I sat down on the bed, and after a few pleasantries, Lydia said to me, "You're the reason I'm here." I didn't know what to say. I'm 15 years old, and there's a woman in my bedroom telling me I'm the reason she's here. I thought maybe she just meant that it was my medical situation that had sparked her meeting my mother, but that's not what she meant. "I agreed to come here because I'm supposed to put you on this path in your life," she said. "What path?" I asked uncomfortably. She said, "You are very gifted. You have wonderful psychic abilities. You have highly evolved spiritual guides, and they are ready to work with you. I was sent here today to introduce you to this world, to open you to your future." At this point, I truly expected Rod Serling to walk out of my closet, accompanied by the theme music from The Twilight Zone. I thought it was psychic shtick that she was laying on just a bit too thick. Lydia continued talking about my future in the spirit world, ignoring the fact that she was talking to a kid who aspired to an after-school job in the neighborhood deli and whose main concern was what girl he was going to go out with.